Okay, welcome you here. Bruins pregame, Lane Gibbs, Connor Ross, to preview a game against the Indian Creek Braves on this wonderful Saturday of sports in the state of Indiana. So, Lane, do you want to tell us what we can expect from these Indian Creek Braves here from tonight?
All right, definitely. Tri-West taking on the Indian Creek Braves tonight. The Braves last week fell to Franklin Community in overtime, only by a 3-point loss, 71-68. Last year, the Indian Creek Braves finished 11-11 and finished second in the Western Indiana Conference. Of course, now they are in the Hoosiers Legends Conference, so this is now a conference game for the Bruins. Senior Carter Cooley had 27 points in the opening loss for the Indian Creek Braves. Averaged 6.5 points a game last season, so look for him to be a factor tonight.
Okay. So, of course, we filmed during the JV game, second half of the JV game. I don't really know how many people that know because this is only our second pregame show. But at the end of the first quarter, we had an epic shot that we just have to show you. Okay, it was with 6 seconds left, about 4. You see this. A half-court buzzer beater to send it to the break. Of course, right now, let me check the score real fast. I'll just tell you what it is.
Yeah, definitely a crazy shot over the 10-second line, almost 3/4 of the way down the court. Very crazy shot to make for at that point in the game. But, I mean, hey, take points where you can get them.
JV is currently losing 42-24 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
So a bit of a bigger deficit right now.
Of course, Lane, do you want to tell us about the other game from today?
No, yeah, definitely. The other game we had today is, if you tuned in earlier on the Sports Network, we had the girls' game taking on Indian Creek. Yesterday is a doubleheader between these two teams. The Lady Bruins did take a tough loss here today, though, 50-37. Julia Middleton, though, was definitely the star player of that game. And also they were without their junior starter, Emma Charles, today. But, I mean, still, it's a long season to go for the Bruins. Yes. They could definitely get this turned around.
Absolutely. Good showing from all the freshmen. You had Hadley Pickens as well and
Harper Nelson,
and Ella Smith. Freshmen make up most of that team. Of course, I think one of the fun things to talk about the players for the varsity team, we're going to go ahead and feature junior guard Jackson Paris. He struggled in that opener. He only had 8 points, but he had 5 rebounds and then 1 assist. I would expect big things out of him. And I talked to him before the game. He thinks that he could get double digits tonight, which I think he's very capable of getting double digits.
No, yeah, definitely. And I feel like you led into that with your interview with Coach Strine here that you did just a few minutes ago, and we'll show you that right now.
We'll take a quick break first, and then we'll do Strine, and then the guest picker. We'll be right back here on the Tri-West Sports Network. Okay, welcome back here. I'm joined by Coach Strine here before the Indian Creek game. So, Coach, coming in here, what are sort of your expectations for the team coming into this one against the Braves?
That we're going to play a lot harder than we did Wednesday. We had a really hard week of practice this week. We kind of got back to our basics as far as just playing extremely hard, playing physical. So I expect us to come out and put a full 32 together as far as just effort, and getting up and down the floor.
So coming in here, of course, we talked about it a bit earlier this morning in the coaches show about how good Parker Gibson did in his first game with the Bruins. So what can you see? What can he do to improve on his debut with the Bruins?
Yeah, coming off the bench, I mean, he's kind of like the ideal off the bench guy, right?
Yeah.
Can give you a spark. So the biggest thing with him is come in and give us, even more ball pressure, right? We have guys that can pressure the ball, and he's one of them. So do that, and then all the other stuff kind of comes to it. He's probably our best, I would say, playmaker as far as being able to make passes, get in the paint, do stuff like that. He's one of our best at that. So that helps out with our shooters, and I expect our shooters to find better shots tonight, more rhythm. There's not as much length out there as there was on Wednesday, so that should help. But Parker's going to play a big role tonight.
And of course, last game against Decatur Central, it was Daniel Thomas and Ryan Miller who both had 12 to lead the team in points. So, of course, you'd probably want to see more people get to that double-digit mark, but of course, that's a good start to start there.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's. I think that we're a team that doesn't really have somebody that can probably go for 30 or 40.
Yeah.
But if we can have 5 guys at 10 or more, that's going to be hard to beat a lot of nights. And so last year I think we had 8 guys that led us in scoring at one point. We got to get back to that this year. And so it kind of starts tonight. I told our guys, this is a reset. This is a prove it game for us, and and then get some momentum going.
So, what have you exactly seen from this Indian Creek game in like film and then pregame?
Yeah, I mean it's hard. They've only played one game. A lot of new guys that graduated 6 of the top 7. The Cooley kid, he's really good. He scored 25 in their opener. So they have some guys that know how to play. They're strong. They're physical. So we got to be able to take care of the ball. Cut hard, and then rebound. We got to be able to do all those things, and we got to be who we are. I told our guys, this whole season and everything is all about us. If we can do the things that we do well and we do them great, it doesn't really matter what the other team can do.
Well, thank you. Here we'll be back shortly for our pregame show and then game time.
Yep, awesome. Thanks, guys. Go Hoosiers.
No, you're leading us back in. We're on.
Welcome back here to the Tri-West High School for tonight's game between the Tri-West Bruins and the Indian Creek Braves. And welcome our guest picker, the greatest English teacher to touch these floors, Sarah Workman. Miss Workman, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing very well, as we'll get into this later. But we'll start with our predictions for our conference games tonight. So first up, we have Southwestern versus Triton Central. Triton Central opened this season with a 70-33 victory over Morristown, but then also lost to Shelbyville 52-39 just a couple days ago. They played Waldron last night and won 63-27, and Southwestern comes in 0-2 after falling to Edinburgh 60-43 and Tri 70-39. I think Triton Central, they're a pretty solid team, and Southwestern taking a couple tough losses there. I'm going to take Triton Central in this one 65-40.
Yeah, I like the same thing, except I don't think Southwestern scores 40. I'm taking Triton Central here 75-30.
I am sticking with you, too. I think Triton Central is going to pull off the victory 67-32.
Good thing there's no kids back here. Okay, next game, North Montgomery and Speedway, former conference opponent, and then new conference opponent. Speedway opened their season with an 82-51 loss versus Covenant Christian, and then won their next game against Western Boone 79-71. They played last night against Beech Grove and only lost by 3, 57-54. The Chargers come into this one 1-1. They faced Southmont last night, lost 57-53. They opened their season with a 44-41 double overtime victory against Fountain Central. Good game. I know Northmont. They weren't good in football. I don't know how they're in basketball. Looking at the record, I'm taking here Speedway 60-45.
Speedway has had those couple losses early in this year, but if you look, losing by 31 points you never want to do, but it is 82-51. That's still a lot in a loss. I'm going to take Speedway here. This seems like a high-scoring offense. I'm taking the upset here, Speedway 60-45.
I could not pick my alma mater for football if my life depended on it, but I think I'm on a roll with them in basketball tonight. I think they are going to win 64-37.
And now, lastly, our final picks for basketball tonight, at least, we have the game we all want to see, Tri-West versus Indian Creek. As we saw last week, the Bruins fell to a very, very good Decatur Central team, 74-54. Daniel Thomas and Ryan Miller both put up 12 points. So let's hope that they can keep up this offensive production tonight against Indian Creek, who lost last week to Franklin Community only by 3, 71-68. I got Tri-West again. I think it's going to be a lot closer, but like we heard with Strine, I mean, he said they got back to the basics this week. They're looking to they said it's a prove-it game. And I think I'm going to put some belief in the Bruins tonight. I got them getting a 3-point win, 56-53.
Close one. I talked to Jackson Paris before the game, before anybody was here, before the girls' game even started. Just how I had my score. I think it was 60 to 55. I changed it. I mean, talking to him, I felt more confident. I'm taking Tri-West 78-52.
All right, I have to go with you guys both on this one. I think we have to trust Coach Strine's coaching skills and having these boys prepared. I think it's going to be close, but I'm taking Tri-West 65, Indian Creek 57.
Okay, our fun picks of the week. Duke and Virginia for the ACC championship. If Virginia wins, they're in the college football playoff. If Duke wins, well, chaos. James Madison won last night. They'll most likely be in. The ACC will be left out of the CFP. Right now, if we just want to say, Georgia just scored a touchdown, 28-7 in the SEC championship. The Dogs go into the playoffs. These two teams, Duke and Virginia, just faced off a couple weeks ago in Durham, North Carolina. The Cavaliers took that one 34-17. Will it be the Cavs or the Blue Devils to win the conference? So, I have family that lives in Charlottesville. I toured that campus last year. Gorgeous campus. Bought a jersey. I love jerseys. Duke, they're a basketball school. I think did they lose today or when? They won. They beat Michigan State. Purdue lost. They're not good at basketball anymore. Neither is IU. I'm taking Virginia 45-24.
No, yeah, I got to see. I first saw this Virginia team put themselves on the map. I believe that was when they played Florida State. I got home late. Florida State was still a fairly relevant team. Sorry, Mr. Ross. But no, this Virginia team, they really got some heart behind them. And Duke, I'm kind of with you, Connor. I didn't like your IU basketball school comment there. There's a reason we have 5 stars on the backs of our jerseys. But no, I got UVA handling this pretty easily and making their way into the playoffs for the first time in a long time. I got Virginia 38-10.
And I guess we have to keep picking on Connor. Connor, we'll talk about Purdue not being able to play basketball in March.
30 points
that comment.
today. Excuse me.
I don't like anything Duke in any sport of any kind. As much as I would love for the playoffs to have complete chaos and make that committee have to do a lot of extra work, I can't do it. I don't think Duke can pull this one out. I'm going Virginia 28, Duke a gracious 14.
And now this is the one, arguably, I don't even think arguably, this is the one America wants to see. Not even me being biased, being an IU fan, but it is the Big Ten Championship.
Yeah. OH.
N-O. IU versus Ohio State. It's a great day to be an Indiana fan today. I mean, you could have gone downtown, sadly saw IU lose, but Purdue lost too, so that was very happy. But and then you could have went down the street, go to Lucas Oil, and see the Big Ten Championship tonight. This is number 1 and 2 in the nation, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a great game tonight. Even if one of these teams loses, they are going to get a bye in the college football playoff. It doesn't even matter. These teams are so far ahead of everyone else in the college football in the whole league.
Yeah,
so, but I mean they faced off last year. It was 38-15 win at the shoe for Ohio State. But this is a brand new, newly found IU team. Even though they retained a lot of their own players. I got IU, granted with how much me being an IU fan, I will say it will be a close game. You have high school teammates Jeremiah Smith taking on D'Angelo Pond. It's going to be a great matchup to watch all night. But I have IU. I think they're going to pull off the upset here and take the number 1 spot in the last week of the season. I've got IU 24-20.
Okay. I picked against the Hoosiers, against Oregon. I think we remember that. I had the jersey, tore it off. I have no extra jersey today. I had the gorgeous Julian Sand. The Heisman. Mendoza's not the Heisman. Well, listen here. I picked IU last week against an awful Purdue team. Awful. I think you could beat them with just running the ball, in all honesty. Purdue is not good. But then you have Ohio State. And I saw this team play against Texas. Played them close. Texas is, they're good. Hook 'em. I watched them against Purdue. They struggled. In a colder environment, I know, of course, Signetti likes to run the score up. I have respect for IU. How they've turned the program around in, 2 years? They were awful. I think 1-8, 23. Conference record. Yeah, they were awful. They were awful. Like Purdue level awful. And then Kurt Signetti comes out of nowhere. I think he was at James Madison. Turns this team around. He wins everywhere he goes. Go Google him. Google him. He only has lost 2 games in 2 years, and they were all last year. Now, Ohio State's a different level. Ohio State's a different level here. You think?
Way better.
I have this. This gorgeous thing. The Ohio State University will beat the Indiana Hoosiers 35-10 tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium.
I thought it was the, not the.
Oh, same thing.
Can't even get your team right.
The Ohio State University. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I want to be like Pat McAfee.
All right, Connor, you did wear the Oregon jersey, and painfully they lost. If somehow IU pulls an upset, it's your fault.
Yeah,
If you are
blame
in
me.
the Ohio
Blame
State,
me.
we're blaming you if that's what happens. While it is really cool, it pains me to say this as a Boilermaker fan, it is pretty cool to see IU have a chance to play for a Big Ten championship because, let's face it, we are never going to see Purdue there
2 years ago.
anytime in the near future.
Yeah, near future. I was there 2
that
years
ship
ago.
has sailed,
Yeah.
I think, for a while. I think IU, they have a good team. I'm not going to argue, but I think in Lucas Oil Stadium and indoor conditions where it is pleasantly always 72 and no wind, I think that the skilled players of Ohio State are just too elite, and I think they are going to put on a show and they are going to have a heck of a night. I think it's going to be Ohio State 35, IU 14.
I will say one more thing. Just while I have time here. We have time. We have plenty of time. Either it's going to be a close Indiana victory, like Lance said, or Ohio State's going to blow them out. I'm just going to say that. That's all for pregame. We thank Miss Workman for showing up here early
Thanks
to
for
come
having me.
talk. So we will go ahead and flip it back over to the gym. We'll have Lane and Mr. Ross on the call at 7:30. JV game running a bit behind, maybe a bit later. We'll find out.